MeTV 24 Meridian proudly presents your favorite way to start the day. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And good morning.
Good morning, Vietnam. That's what I want to say.
And we've got Jan filling in for Candace this morning. And so glad to have you back.
Good to see you.
And as you know, you joke about saying that of Robin Williams. Boy, was that a part in a movie or what?
It really was. But I've been up here before, and that's the first thing I think of is that situation. Because we're not in a regular radio studio or TV studio or anything.
It's a lot different. That's for sure.
This is an exclusive situation, right?
It is. So glad to have you. How have you been?
I've been doing really well. We won't talk about it much, but I lost my husband back on August 16th, and God is good. I've had wonderful family support and friends and stuff, and he's in a much better place. I know that he's with family and with the Lord, so...
And that matters. And so having closure, I think, really helps somebody move on to that next chapter.
When you see them in such pain and the quality of life is gone, it is really the most merciful thing you can do. It's hard on us to let them go.
Right.
But for their sake, you've got to let them go.
Now, would you say for somebody that has got someone suffering that that period of time, that 3 to 4 weeks, helps you with that closure?
It helped my daughter and I with that closure, and we saw it coming. So mentally and emotionally, we were,
It's like when you wake up, somebody goes to work and an auto accident happens, you lose a loved one. You're not prepared.
You're not prepared, and you haven't had that chance, to have that closure and tell them, hey, I love you, goodbye.
Right.
That's why it's so important. Tell your loved ones every single day how much you love them and appreciate them.
You better start calling me every day now.
You don't know.
You really don't.
Never do. No. So
I make light of that, but I'm telling you, you really and truly, you get up in the morning, you have a cup of coffee, and you watch the sunset come up, or you watch it go down on a walk. You don't really get many of those.
We take it for granted that we're going to have tomorrow.
Yeah. And
only God knows if we're going to have tomorrow. So live today the very best that you can, and love those that are important to you. Be kind to people. That's what's wrong with this world right now. Be kind to people.
Because there's a judgment on the other side of how you treat people.
That's exactly right.
And it does matter. Mm-hmm. So it does to me, and I hope you'll carry that with you as you will. I saw a headline, and I don't know the guy very well, and I know the company's got some issues right now with some wrecks with their little fancy car, the Tesla. But Elon Musk...
Not Musk.
I wanted to say Musk when we were talking. This is such a great cause. He's given $50 million to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
That's wonderful.
They were trying to raise $12 million, and $200 million, and he gave 50
of it.
So
he kicks it off pretty good.
That's right. So good for them. They really do a lot for children that are hurt, and the parents don't have to pay anything.
They don't have to pay anything, and
so. That's good news on that. Let's see here. I didn't know this, and y'all tell me, and maybe I missed something somewhere. Is there a big skateboarding crowd in Meridian, Mississippi that I don't know about?
You haven't seen me out skateboarding on North Hill Street?
Well, I bring that up because I saw that one of the councilmen want to put in a skating park for skateboarders.
Evidently, there's been issues with kids out skateboarding and on private property and all that type of thing. And so somebody came up with the idea,
Okay, I didn't realize we had a bunch that did that. I know California used to do it.
More so than we thought.
They'd wear the hat backwards and skate. I can't skate. I had a skateboard as a kid.
What are those skates? Those single inline skates or something? You used to have 4 wheels, and these now have 2.
Okay, but I can't. I went to a skating rink once as a kid, and I kept falling. I never went back after that. So I was not talented. I do good to walk a straight line.
Well, this is true. But I suffer from that issue too. It's not an age thing, I'm sure.
Oh, let's see. LaWanda Grantham said that was great advice, and she appreciates you doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Andy Barnhill watching us from Dalewood this morning. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Oh, good. I see LaWanda Grantham on here. Good morning. Larry Smith, good morning. Pat Banks.
Yeah. As always, we'd love to. Debbie is watching you. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Oh, look. Love you, Jan. Love you too, girl. Hadn't seen you in forever. Granny.
Great.
Be a granny.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Sarah Beth.
Debbie the Granny. I'm trying to. Is she going by Granny? Is she going by. What are all those? What are the different names?
I'm Nana.
Nana?
I was going to be JB, but.
That don't sound right, Jan.
That didn't quite sound right. So.
And that's
I didn't want Big Mama. Maybe we'll call Debbie Big Mama.
Oh, you getting in it now.
Kill me.
Now, that's like a big deal for a grandmother to choose that name. Or am I wrong?
Right. My dear friend, Harriet Harper, is Honey.
Okay, where does I've heard Gigi, what does that stand for?
Gigi.
Great grandmother, or?
I don't know.
I've heard Gigi, and I've heard Honey.
Honey, and I don't know.
The granddaddy, or whatever's just grandpa, isn't it?
Oh, you can be Papa.
Now, I remember as a kid being very confused with my great-grandparents because the grandmother's name was Bama, and the granddaddy, they called him Granny, and it just never mixed. I never caught on to that. Granny and Bama.
I had dear friends, and the grandson would call him Nandad. Mike Scruggs. I don't know if you remember Mike.
No, I don't remember
Mike. He used to
Mike.
be a sports announcer on WMDN.
Yeah.
And it was Nandad, and that stuck.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, who we got here from Knoxville? You know anybody from Knoxville, Tennessee?
No, but if they're from
Howard.
Tennessee, they got to be good people.
Yeah, Howard DeBose. How are you this morning? We appreciate you watching in that.
I think my twin brother and his wife are watching in from Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, Debbie is going by Big Deb for Grandma, she says.
Big Deb. I don't know.
Big Deb.
Okay.
We can make a song out of that. Big Bad Deb.
Big boom, boom, boom. Can you rap that?
I am not a rapper. I tried it one time. Harriet Harper is up this morning. I hope you've done your hair, Harriet, and not watching us without doing your hair. You have to have it fixed.
Get your face on, please, Harriet. You know.
One thing that is gripping America right now, no matter who you are, it has been the headline story of America worried with this young girl is.
Yeah, Gabby Petito.
Yes.
That's the boyfriend of the fiance had a lot of red flags. I mean, he wasn't cooperating. Came back home without her.
See, who does that?
Somebody who's guilty and knows something.
Yeah, and now they have found a body. They had the autopsy will not happen until tomorrow, so it won't be 100% identification. But during that press conference, they do lead you to believe that
they said the description of the body and stuff, was so close to this description of her, so they're pretty sure that's who it is.
Then you go back and you watch the video of what the other cops had when they were calling, and your heart goes out to this family. What was she, 22, 24? Yeah. She was young, wasn't she?
She was young.
Now, I have never been one of these that understood the van life, how you jump in a van and just...
Well, I think they had modified a van because they were going to do this cross-country trip together. I think they just had way too much time together or something. Evidently had some issues. It was, at one time somebody called 911 on them, found them on the side of the road in an argument, and the police came. They showed that video on TV. So,
but as we're all here, keep that family in your prayers. They're going to need it, and I'm afraid in the end we'll find some horrifying news that just tears you apart when you start finding out more about this case.
You're not supposed to lose your children.
No.
I can't even imagine. Thank God I haven't been through that.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Debbie said she was in Yellowstone when the alert started going out last week with that.
Oh, really?
There was a wreck last night, Highway 45, right at Lauderdale, Mississippi. Pretty serious wreck. I hadn't gotten details on it, but it blocked traffic there for a little while. 2 or 3 ambulances were on the scene. Let's hope everybody turned okay. It was right before you get to the Ralph Morgan Rodeo Arena there on Highway 45.
What if that was doing all that rain? We had some gully watching in that area yesterday.
A lot of rain.
Then the sun came out and it kept raining.
And you know what? That's going to happen again today.
Isn't that when the devil's beating his wife?
I have always heard that say.
That's an old wives' tale.
It is. And as we look at what today, let me pull this up and show you our 7-day forecast of what we're expecting here, because it's not going away. As we look at this today, 85, we'll get a 60% chance of rain continued into tonight and 50% chance tomorrow also. But look at Wednesday. Thursday, Friday.
Look at the weekend. That's going to be nice.
73 on Thursday with sunshine. Folks, you can't beat any of this. It is really, really good.
I love the cool mornings with my coffee on my patio.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Now, I don't know if you caught on to this, and I brought this up earlier this morning. We've got Pete Rose out there with two different hurricane tropical storms, Peter and Rose, and it goes with Pete Rose.
That's what.
Now we've got Invest 98 right here that is developing, and it's a question of where these two are going to go stay out in the Atlantic. They're going to hook. Yeah. We want to watch this over the next couple of days. It really hasn't made up its mind. Probably Thursday-ish before it really turns into a tropical depression. But we'll watch that. Keep you posted. Should it become a threat to the Gulf, because that gets serious there.
Gets serious. Well, those New Orleans and all those areas have been hit so hard.
They have.
Recently. And boy, the East Coast got whammed.
It did. Wanted to say thank you to Reggie McKee, who sent this in on Saturday. I wanted to throw this
rainbow.
Beautiful rainbow all over. And then Candace sent this one in. She was at a ball game. And look at these pots of gold.
Yeah.
And I spelled rainbow wrong. I just noticed that. Wow. That's a rainbow.
That's a rainbow.
Yeah, sometimes I don't check behind myself, but so be it. Y'all knew what I was talking about. Right. That we did have some beautiful weather in spite of things that went on.
Yeah.
And the next thing that I wanted to do was thank the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. I had a friend of mine who brought his four-wheeler to me and left it at my shop. And I've had it, maybe a month or two, and I hadn't gotten around to fixing it for him. And so I had some lumber brought in, and I rolled it out of my shop and left it out in the yard. And I got up Saturday morning, and I went to go check on my mom, and it was missing. So I called him. I said, "Hey, when'd you come get it?" He goes, "I ain't come got nothing." So we called the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department. They come out. Sure enough, someone else's buggy had side by side had been stolen right up the road by Gumlog. The four-wheeler at my house was stolen, and they got on it. And let me tell you what, they solved this case within 24 hours.
In this area.
Yeah, they were. Somebody saw the post where I posted the four-wheeler. They called the sheriff's department, and they went out, and they have apprehended the individual that did this. A big thank you to the guys that helped out with this, that saw the post. But the sheriff's department really and truly went above and beyond to solve this. And if I'm not mistaken, they solved like 10 cases of this weekend of other four-wheelers and motorcycles that were stolen. Everything returned within a 24-hour period.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So great job.
They're not given enough credit.
No, they're not.
None of our law enforcement's given enough credit.
But
job. That's wonderful.
Big thank you to them for really getting out there.
Sure your friend's glad.
Yeah, he got his back. It's one of those things. Was it 20 years old? Yeah, but he liked it, and I just hadn't fixed it.
I didn't know you could fix stuff like that, Scotty Ray. You've got talents I didn't realize you had.
Tinker, and then they didn't mess with Bobby's lawnmower that was sitting right next to it from next door. Whoops, I ain't fixed that either.
Is Bobby's lawnmower still out?
Yes, and it won't roll. So that's why they didn't take it. It was too much of a trouble to get.
Come and get it.
So a few things that went on this weekend, and really and truly, I can't say enough about the Sheriff's Department, because they do hustle and they work hard to take care of things in the community. We can't thank them enough. So I want to say thank you to Officer Dearman and Thomas there. They were all over it. Now, some good news that I mentioned a little bit earlier this morning, and let me bring this up because this is a happy ending to this. We had a girl that was missing from the Bailey community, Elena Harding. She has been found and returned home. So thank heavens.
Okay, how old was she?
16 years old. And she'd been missing. She left on her own.
Oh, okay.
And I think she'd been hiding out at a friend's home, and she's back with her parents, and that's a good ending to that story.
That's good.
Yeah. So we're glad that nothing else was going on there. So we thank them a whole bunch there for that return there, and everybody that shared that. Got her back home there.
That's good.
As we turn our thoughts to other things, our friend Joe, and you've known Joe as long as I have.
Decades.
It has been. Joe started his business many, many years ago. We were there for the 20th anniversary, back in the spring. Yeah, May.
I want to say it was May.
Big cake. It was great. Yeah. And if you want to save money and deal with people that treat you like family, this is where you go. Plate lunches and a whole lot more. If you need a pumpkin, $4.99 each. If you're going to be doing some carving, get ready for the holidays there as it comes upon us.
Yeah.
You can also take advantage of fresh Idaho potatoes, 8-pound bag, only $2.99. Fresh celery stalks, 99 cents. You can get the fresh tomatoes, 4 of them, for $1.99, including the green bell peppers at 89 cents, or you can get the red yellow, 2 for $3. Whichever you want to do there. If you're going to be doing some cooking. Heinz ketchup, you need some of that. Flour for $1. Also cornmeal. You can't beat these prices. They'll help you with water for $3 for $10. Steaks, $7.49 for that certified Angus beef. And they're good on the grill.
Oh, yeah.
If you need pork chops, all of these, along with Coca-Cola products at a great price, you'll find it all at the Piggly Wiggly of Collins. We'll drop in and see Joe. You'll meet a friend. I'm sure they're on an aisle somewhere, and they'll treat you like family.
Coming home from work, I was involved in a multi-car wreck. I never saw it coming. It was obvious that I needed help.
I'm Mississippi Attorney Richard Schwartz. I'm proud to represent the people of the great state I call home. And if you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
I'm Laura from Columbus, Mississippi, and it took one call and that was all. I called my Mississippi attorney, Richard Schwartz, and he got me $250,000.
If you need me, Mississippi, remember, one call, that's all.
As we were sitting here talking amongst each other, we're trying to figure out Mississippi State. What was the final score of Mississippi State? Does anybody know that?
Somebody tell us.
Because I think State won. Did they not?
I'm thinking they won by 1 point, but I don't know. But this little Will Rogers has potential. I'm hopeful for State's football team this season.
Yeah, so if you happen to know the actual score, that pass that along to us, because I forgot to check that. Shame on me before we went on.
Well, speaking of State, we can't forget Dak Prescott.
Boy, did Dak.
The only NFL that I will watch is the Dallas Cowboys because of our boy Dak. He looks healthy, doesn't seem to have any problems, and they pulled their win out by a field goal. It was a tight game.
Ooh, we just got bad news there. Ooh, a loss. 31-29.
Well, it was close. That's what it was. I knew it was really close. I couldn't remember. But I mean, they made a good showing. But
Dak, you can't help but like Dak. He's got such a great personality.
Well, I know he's well respected by his teammates.
Yeah.
That's the word out there.
Big thank you to Terry Nelson. Also, Jan Locklear, thank you. Also, Allie Hughes, she let us know there. Terry Shelton, come on in and have a seat. And Greg Summerlin for passing that along. James Bailey, LaWanda, y'all are on this. That's what I've got to say about that. Now, let me pass along some other scores that happened this weekend, because I know each and every one of you go out and you support your kids at your local schools. West Lauderdale went to, beat Southeast 49-15. Enterprise cleaned the slate.
With Stringer, my goodness.
40-0, Jan.
I know. Meridian High, 41 over Hattiesburg, 35. Clarkdale, 42. Sebastopol, 14.
Woo!
Forest, that was a kind of a tight game.
Yeah.
21 and Northeast Lauderdale, 14. And
Presbyterian Christian, 56. Lamar, 32. Enterprise, I think we already mentioned that one. Quitman, 41. Kemper County, 33. That was a pretty tight game. One point, or one touchdown, rather. Calhoun Academy and Kemper Academy. Calhoun beats Kemper Academy 54-0.
Newton County, 28. Union, 6. Wilkinson County Christian, 32. Newton County Academy, 0. Sorry, guys. Winona, 57. Philadelphia, 14.
Choctaw Central, 9. Lake, 7. And Neshoba Central wins with 48 over Holmes to 14. Central Holmes there. And if we didn't mention your game, post that and we'll be glad to pass that along. It's always fun at Friday Night Lights as you go out and go to the games. And it will finally be that little bit of a chill in the air where you might have to take a blanket.
Yeah, take a little light jacket or something.
Yeah.
Listen, I love football. High school, college, whatever.
Right.
I love it. And I used to complain about all you see on TV on the weekends is football. And once you get hooked. You're hooked. I got hooked.
And I'll just say this, Dak is the only one I like, and I hadn't even been able to go back and watch Dak yet because of the NFL, their stance on America. I have issues with that, and I haven't been able to turn the cheek and accept it. Is that the word?
My mindset is I'm not supporting the NFL or their policies. I'm supporting Dak Prescott because guess what? This is what he's
a good guy
and what he's doing, and he's a good guy. So that's who I'm supporting right there.
but he went and lost on us. So it wasn't his fault.
No, it wasn't. He can't do the whole thing by himself.
Is Ezekiel still there?
He's still there.
Does he still think he's a superstar?
Now, last season, I was a little disappointed in him. I'd give anything to see their first season together. That was good. 13 out of 14 games they won, and they were a team. But
it just didn't. The last time I watched him, it just and I had, and again, I've turned it off.
He's looking better this season. I don't know where he was, what his problem was last season, but he's looking much better this year.
Ole Miss won. I didn't know that, so I didn't get caught up on college ball this weekend.
Well, I'm a state fan, so
I can see that.
But I support any SEC college team. So
do you go? I know your best buddy in the whole wide world goes up there and plants herself right in the middle of the field at each game and won't budge. Do you go also?
We haven't been in a while, actually.
She hadn't been? What's wrong with her? She's sick?
I think they're getting ready to go to a game this weekend, but no. I went one time.
That's all it took was me one time.
I've got prime seats in front of my TV.
I'm telling you.
Refrigerator's there.
And I can't imagine. I went to Mississippi State, watched a game, and I can't imagine compared that to Alabama of trying to get out. Because it took us 2.5 hours to get out of the parking lot where we parked. Boy, did I make a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, oh, no, I can see this at home on a large screen and see it better and not get scared of heights. Angie, let me tell you, she drugged me up them stairs because we had some nosebleeds, and I thought I was falling, and it took us 45 minutes to get to our seat, and I needed to go to the bathroom, and I just sat there and crossed my legs and turned purple because I was not going back down.
Okay.
I don't do good at heights.
No.
I got that little problem there. I can't help it. We want to welcome a special guest to the studio. And, oh, boy, she's such a sweetheart. Miss Leslie, how are you doing this morning, Leslie?
I'm good. How are y'all?
It's so good to see you. Now, you're here to talk to us about, now, where's your husband? I thought he was going to come up and chat with us,
he was. He got in late last night from Kentucky, so I let him sleep in today.
He got to sleep.
Yes.
Good.
Now, you're here to talk about a fundraiser that Lauderdale County is doing. You're one of the school teachers at West Lauderdale.
Yes.
And y'all are putting together supplies to take to Louisiana.
Yes, sir. So it's called Flood with Love, and West Lauderdale Elementary is a part of it. Southeast Middle School and Northeast Middle School are all a part of it, and we are just taking in donations, waters, tarp, just anything for these schools and for these children at home. So it is just a great thing that we're trying to put together for these teachers and these administrations from Bayou Blue.
And that's a list of a few things that y'all are looking for right there.
Yes, we have got a great start already. We're actually selling a T-shirt as well.
Oh, a T-shirt.
And yes, so I need to get that to you so you can put that out there too.
Yeah.
Because all of the profit we make from that goes straight to those schools, and those schools can use it as they need them.
All right, now describe this for me, Leslie. Your husband, of course, he's a professional fisherman, and he's been through Louisiana a lot lately on his tours of fishing and where he's going. Mm-hmm. Describe what he's told you that he's seen as he goes through there that really makes you want to go, oh my gosh.
Wow, it was amazing. I mean, it's terrible what they had to go through. He said you would look at one house, it would be fine. Maybe a few shingles were missing, and then the next house was missing part of the roof, or windows were busted. It just was different each corner he went through, but very, very fortunate for some of our friends who live down there.
Right.
They only had just a few things that they needed to fix. Nothing. Everything was easy to replace. Nothing, no lives. That's the big thing. That was a big blessing for us and them as well.
Definitely no lives lost. That's important. Yeah. But you really got to think back. All these kids that go to school each day, a lot of them now have no clothes. Even as simple as having water at home to drink or wherever they're staying, they're displaced.
Right, and they're just now receiving power. It's touch and go, and this area is in big need because it's in Houma. I mean, it's in where the tornado came straight through. So they are just so thankful that we're able to do something like this, and we just want to help them any way we can, whether it's for the school, for those kids, the teachers. I can't imagine how they're feeling right now because they were told at the beginning that it may be January before they go back.
Wow.
So they're hoping that it's going to be a little sooner, but we'll just see. But our prayers and our thoughts go out to them as they're living that right now. And so we felt really
moved. Is that the word?
Yeah. We felt really moved to do this. And I mean, these are good friends of ours that Brock travels with, and they have been so good to us, and we wanted to do something to help them in any way that we could. I mean, Brock was out there for almost a whole week helping put roofs on first responders' house and getting water to those who needed it. And a friend of his from North Carolina came down, and he had a trailer full of just essentials that everybody needed while they were without power and without water. You know,
right.
I mean, it's just
right for the
terrible
folks
what they went through
that are watching it, want to help. What do you do? Do you go to West Lauderdale? How do you go about helping y'all? What do you do?
So you can bring any of the listed items to West Lauderdale Elementary, Southeast Middle School, or Northeast Middle School. If you want to make a donation, you can contact the school and either ask for myself or any of the teachers listed. Or you can just drop by and bring anything that you feel like you would like to donate. And I'm going
to ask you a question off guard because I didn't ask you this before we started. Do y'all have a place set up online to do like a cash donation if you wanted to do? Is there a GoFundMe or anything like that?
There's not, but we are taking cash donations.
Okay.
The T-shirts are cash only, just so that we know exactly the profit that we're going to make and to get it straight to them.
Right.
With however they want to use it. So they can bring the cash to us and we'll write a receipt so that they know exactly where everything's going.
All right. What are the hours? That's the next question of it. Say I'm working here. What are the hours at the school that you can get stuff to?
So the hours of the school are from 7:20 to 3:30. You know, we're always there, 8 o'clock. So any of those times, Monday through Friday, we will be
just
so
regular
blessed.
School hours, yeah.
Yeah, regular school hours, you know.
Okay.
But if you contact the school and you talk to myself or you talk to anybody that's over this, we will work whatever we can out. If you want to make a big donation and that kind of stuff.
If you can't make it there by 3:30, somebody will meet you some way, somehow to make sure that that's taken care of. We sure will.
And we plan on taking everything in October. Middle of October, which the cutoff for the schools is not this Friday, but the next Friday, October 1st.
October 1st. So that's coming quickly. So we need to get this as soon as we can.
Yes, as soon as you can. We will take any type of donation. I know that there are some local businesses here that are interested in helping. So we are trying to get that all situated, and we are just... I mean, this is just an amazing way for our community to help because we have the needs, you know, the things that we can do to help these people.
All right. One final question I've got for you, because I've never asked this as long as I've known you.
Okay.
What do you teach?
I am a special education teacher. This is my first year in special ed.
Wonderful.
Well, congratulations. And how many students do you teach each day?
So I have 3 classrooms, but I only have 17 kids total. But they're wonderful. I love it. It is an amazing place to be. I was at Northeast Elementary for 6 years. And that's a wonderful place too. I mean, Lauderdale County Schools, we are blessed with the staff and the teachers and the principals and the county office who, I mean, I couldn't work for a better district.
I remember when I was at Northeast Elementary, and I guess when you made it to 3rd grade, you got to go up on top of the hill. That was like a big deal back then.
It's not like that anymore, but
I bet because I have not stepped foot there since I left 5th or 6th grade and went to the high school. So I have not been on that campus since then.
About 10 years ago.
Yeah. I really wish that.
Not far.
And that was back when Miss Clark used to be the librarian at the high school. Boy, things have just, I don't even know who librarians are anymore.
Yeah, they change every so often.
Boy, I need to go by again and visit everybody. Leslie, we can't thank you enough. Again, recap the dates, what times, and the date that you'll be closing this fundraiser to help these folks.
Okay, so any time from Monday through Friday, 8 or 7:30 to 3:30 at the schools at West Lardell Elementary, Northeast Middle School, Southeast Middle School. We will, the shut off for the t-shirts and the donations is October 1st so that we can get those out to them middle of October, if not close to the end of October.
That's good.
Well, thank you for coming by. I appreciate you doing that with us. It is so kind of you to do that and spread the word and send us a picture of the t-shirts, and we'll put that out there so people can get up with y'all to order some shirts.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you all so much for having me.
Thank you, Leslie. You have a good day.
You too.
Sweet of her to come by and tell us about what's going on with the area schools helping out with the folks that really need help.
A wonderful gesture. You know,
It
that's
is.
from the heart. That's the kind of people we need.
You had a message sent to you while we were talking there, and I thought you might want to read this one.
It says, Jan, did you mean to wear that shirt with those earrings? When we were in radio, we'd do this to each other. I'd say, oh, Debbie, that's a cute shirt you've got on. Did you really mean to wear those shoes with that? Well, she did that to me one time, and I went home and changed shoes. We'd pick at each other. So anyway, I'll never forget the day that one of the girls said, oh, Debbie, you want to use my hairbrush? Yeah, that was fun. We had some good times.
Thought you might want to read that there. Thank y'all for checking in. Ray Streetback checking in from Hickory this morning. We do appreciate that. Let me see what else is going on. We went over the high school football teams, the Washington rally that they made such a big stink about.
What is the deal with these people? Give me a break.
It was less, maybe 500 people turned out Saturday.
Right.
It was a dud. It was nothing to it. They had tons more police officers than they did people show up. Trump even said, I think it was Friday, he goes, careful, y'all. This could be a setup. I wouldn't fool with it. So he suggested not going.
Yeah.
If you'd looked at somebody wrong, I think you would have probably been arrested.
Well, putting up all the barriers again, that was an optic, thing. This has gotten ridiculous. And some of these people now, granted, the thing that happened was not right.
Correct.
But we know that there were some instigators and all that stuff. But there's people that are still being held because they could be a danger to society. And these weren't violent people.
No. If you had your picture taken there, it's a chance you're going to be tracked down.
Exactly.
So that's what happened in Washington over the weekend. The media really wanted it to be bad.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't. So that is
totally peaceful.
Yeah. I didn't watch this last night, but the Emmys were on. Anybody stay up and watch that?
I don't watch any of the award shows anymore. That Hollywood group's gotten so political and negative. So
the only headline that I saw, and I haven't looked at anybody who won, they're trying to shame each other for not wearing a mask.
Get over it.
Y'all gonna be all right. It's not the end of the world there. Let's see here. A Pennsylvania bus, some high school students were injured as a bus ran off the road over the weekend. A bunch of them 32 were taken to the hospital, 5 in critical condition. As we look at that, that's bad. Here's a picture of the back of the bus where it ran off.
Church group retreat.
Yeah.
And, that's a shame.
Fortunately, no one has passed away from that, but hopefully
it'll off the road like that. I'm trying.
Well, it could be anything. They could have dodged an animal, deer, something ran out, and they swerve, and they do that. And are you a good poker player? Let me ask this.
I am.
Now, if you're a bad guy,
nickel, diamond, quarter.
You're good at that?
Yeah.
Do you have a good face? Can you hold steady and nobody reads you?
Yeah.
And I say that to where if the cops were to pull you over and they walk up to your window, do you behave? Would you act frantically, or would you be all normal? Maybe if you were doing something wrong.
I act like, oh, what did I do? And I go, I play real blonde.
Well, this old boy, it didn't work out so well for him. Passing through Texas, they're pretty good at what they do. They went up to the window and he started acting nervous. So if you act nervous, cops are going to want to investigate a little further. Well, they ended up with $44,000 in cash that he had hidden. Let's see, a gold-plated handgun that he had stuffed under the seat, and some marijuana and cocaine.
Yeah, 2 kilos of cocaine.
Yeah, it didn't work out well for him. He is now in the jailhouse. Now, as we take a look at his picture there, he's got some time to spend because of that. Texas, they don't play. They really do some big searches out there. So if you're a bad guy, watch what you're doing in the state of Texas.
Exactly.
Now, Jan, I don't know this guy's music.
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. He's like a R&B singer. But this case is almost one of the biggest things that you don't see on the media every day. He has held, allegedly, let me say allegedly, sex slaves, girls under the age of 18. This is huge. And
this investigation has been going on, I want to say, for a couple of years.
Yeah. And it's now reached trial.
Yeah.
And girls are starting to speak. This was a living nightmare.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
For the people that he suffered. This is as big or bigger than the Weinstein thing. Maybe even bigger. Yeah. I mean, it's just been girl after girl after girl. And this guy was not good.
I mean,
so if you hadn't kept up with this.
There's some sickos in this world.
There is.
Keep track of your kids, know what's going on with them, where they are.
Yeah.
And who they're,
and
idolizing.
And be careful with this. If you're trying to break it into whether it's the movie industry or the singing
music industry,
I couldn't get that out.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, be careful. Do not let your child, 17, 18, even 19, just wander, because there's people that want to take advantage of them. Exactly. I have witnessed that in the music industry through the years of my many trips to. There's some bad stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people never know about. Do not let your babies out of your sight because there's crooked people out there.
Exactly.
We say good morning to Becky Moffitt watching us from Driggs, Idaho. 34 degrees there this morning. Wow. That's a little different than Meridian, Mississippi, sitting now at 75 degrees. Wow.
Yeah. Texas is big on cracking down on cell phone use around schools or churches.
$500 fine.
$500 fine because,
it's a distraction.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Hands free.
Well, you got to also be aware of what your children are seeing and who are texting and things. I was just going back to this other subject here.
Also, there's an app. Hang on here, and let me, because I got this saved on my cell phone. This was sent to me the other day, and if you're not aware of this, I don't want to create a image-o or whatever you call those. What do you call them? How do you say that word?
Emoji.
Yeah, I can never say that. But let me find this. I've got this on my cell phone about a...
Of course, I probably didn't say that right either. My Tennessee twang comes out.
But it's a new app, and why I can't find it. I got it on here somewhere. It's a new app that is out there that hides things from where basically kids can be bullied.
Oh.
And do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I've heard something about that.
And for the life of me, here it is.
Where they can make, in other words, anonymous. You don't know who's making comments and things like that. And
Yik Yak is the name of the app.
Yeah.
And check your kids' phones, make sure they don't have that, because they can do this anonymously, and it is hurtful what people will say to kids.
It's been bad because
this can lead to suicide and things.
It's more vicious because they have the anonymity.
Right.
Aren't you impressed with that 25-cent word?
Yeah. Did you have the definition of that word?
Oh, gosh.
So watch that. Again, that app is Yik Yak. Check your kid's phone to see if they've got that. I had to dig back several on that to talk about that, but a very serious thing there. Teresa Short joins us now from Lost Gap. How are you doing? I hope all is well there. Cleveland, Ohio. Of course, as we see more and more of these cities crime infested, the mayor of Cleveland lost his grandson there over the weekend.
He was 24. He was shot multiple times and killed in the city's east side.
He'd got out of a car and somebody dropped him off, and almost immediately when he stepped out of the car, he was shot. Now, also in the same breath, was the grandson had been in some issues, we'll say that, and he had run with the wrong crowd.
I was going to say, a lot of times these are gang-related things, and that's sad.
And, we don't know all the details on that, but it was most likely some form of that. He was watched, and they got him. And so we pass on that sad news of I don't care who you are, that's not good.
Not good.
Coming up, we'll talk to you about brides and who is banned from weddings. Anybody ever banned anybody from a wedding? Hold that thought, and we're going to come back and talk about that in just a second. Yeah, I've never been banned from a wedding, not yet. Let's talk about our friends at Snowden and Company. What they do is real estate, and they do a great job at this. If you've got a home, 453-3937 is the name to use. Call them, talk to them about them. If you're getting ready to sell your home, it's a high demand right now for a home. They can get you the absolute most that you can for your home. It's one of the biggest investments most of us will ever make, and they want to make sure that you're taken care of. They have extraordinary marketing strategies, skill negotiations, precise attention to detail when you go to sell your home. Many a home has been sold, and they do it great. Amanda's going to work with you. This is one of the homes there that you can visit online at Snowden Real Estate. Love the flowers. That's what do they call it? Curb appeal?
Curb appeal.
Yeah. Now, she takes care of homes in Lauderdale, Kemper, Newton, Neshoba, Clark, and have just added Brandon, Flowood, and the Madison Forest areas. So if you're looking for a home there, here's another home that's just been added. Look at that. Beautiful. Pick out what you want, whether you're looking for ponds or any of this. Here's a new home that was just added there. Now, they'll be there till 5 o'clock this afternoon, Monday through Friday, Saturday by appointment. They're going to shut down on Sunday to go to church like you and I. But call them. They'll walk you through this and get you a home, another one there. Just great. See them? These are people that sold their home. Again, see Amanda. She's got a great sales team there, a bunch of folks that work for her that'll help you. Amanda Snowden, see her? She's a designated seller and certified real estate negotiating expert. Again, that's Snowden and Company Real Estate. See them today for all your needs.
First 10 days following an accident are crucial. Insurance companies don't wait. They have a staff of adjusters, attorneys, and investigators collecting information that can be used against you.
Call Richard Schwartz today.
As we talk to Maple's One-Stop Shop, if you're out looking for a cup of coffee this morning, this is where you need to go. And of course, they've still got the thing where you go in and get gas. You can write your name on the back of the receipt, turn it in. They give away a $50 fuel card each week. That is great. And you can do that at all the locations there with the Maple's One-Stop Shop. This one here in Broadmoor. As we turn to our next thing, they've got this new community coffee machine. If you're into the different coffee flavors of the cold coffee, that's how I'm trying to put it. Caramel, French vanilla, mocha. And I can actually say the word mocha.
Yeah, you did.
Get out of here. You can see this. Now, this is at the Broadmoor location that you can pick that up. Now, the coffee club, this is great. If you live off coffee like we do, they have the loyalty coffee program. Your 6th cup of coffee is free. They'll give you a card and punch your coffee every time you get it. And your 6th cup is absolutely free. That's at Community Coffee. You can find it there. They'll help you there. There's great folks there. Cold drinks, if you're looking for that. If you're wanting a fountain drink, they've got plenty of that to choose from. Maple's One-Stop, where you can get a quick lunch for $4.99. That includes pizza, bag of chips, and a drink, all for only $4.99.
Can't beat that.
You cannot. The bait shop at the country store, ice cream, lottery tickets, the list goes on. Bonita Chevron, you can choose the Pine Springs store, the Pine Springs, let me say that correctly, the Bonita Chevron, also the Last Chance Tobacco on 493, or the Broadmoor Chevron station. They'll take care of you. Again, that's Maple's One-Stop Shop. Good folks there. Coffee, I'm just hooked on it. It's one of my lifelong things. Now, as I mentioned, have you ever been banned from a wedding in any shape, form, or way where they didn't want you there?
No.
Did you ever chunk anybody from yours?
No.
Now,
I remember.
This is a headline, and this is a true headline this morning, where a bride is banning her parents and her brother from her wedding. She doesn't want them there, and guess why?
She gave away the family dog.
When she was a kid, her parents gave away the family dog, and she's mad at them. I mean, how do you walk around with that? And so everybody is branding this woman evil.
Well, there's probably more to this story. She probably had a goldfish that died and they flushed it. So she's really built up a lot of anger.
That's bad anger. Now, I've heard of people getting mad after the wedding of something they said that was caught on camera and those things like that. But because you gave away the family pet,
That's wild.
So that's something to think on there.
Yeah, she's ready to get married. She sounds real mature.
Yeah. Now, I don't think I've been banned. Well, let me take that back. I probably have.
Yeah, okay. Moving right along.
Let's go back this day in history. This lady is one of the most beautiful ladies I've ever laid eyes on, and she's celebrating a birthday today.
Sophia Loren.
Is she
born
not
in
got class?
1934. She's beautiful. I'm trying to remember some of the movies I saw her in, but she was beautiful. Oh, Dirty Old Men or... What?
Grumpy Old Men.
Grumpy Old Men.
Dirty Old Men.
Dirty Old Men, too. She was so good in that.
She's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
She's been in a lot of movies and just really made her mark. So happy birthday to her. Some other folks here. It was 1957, and I think this song still is played on radio today. It was released today. Peggy Sue. I can't carry a tune, but that's the way it would kind of go.
Gosh, what's his name?
Buddy Holly.
Buddy Holly. I went totally blank. I don't know.
Lubbock, Texas, finest. There's a big statue there to him, and there was a lot of young ladies named Peggy Sue after that. That's where
there was a movie.
Peggy Sue got married.
Peggy Sue got married, and that was so good. It was cute.
So, Buddy Holly there. Today was a sad day as Bad Leroy Brown, who remembers Jim Croce.
Yeah.
Died in a plane crash today, and I'm going to try to pronounce it right. Nukadash. No, I didn't say it right. I've been there.
Yeah.
Natcha.
Moving right along.
Yeah, I cannot say it. I have found another word that is not in my English.
Natchitoches.
Natchitoches. You're closer than me.
Yeah, Natchitoches, Louisiana.
Yeah. But we did lose Jim Croce on this date.
Yeah, when the plane was taken off.
That's just bad, and it never climbed.
Yeah, it ran into the country.
1982, you woke up, and this was the number one song.
God.
She got the gold mine.
Reed. Oh, my gosh.
And he asked, why didn't I just learn to cook?
Yeah.
Jerry Reed was such a staple during the 80s and 90s. And I want to say it was around 07 that we lost Jerry Reed. Miss him all the time. Always had a smile on his face. Now, let me explain who this next guy is.
I'm not familiar with this one.
Have you ever heard the song, you ever heard the term, the greatest country and western song that's ever been made?
Not really.
Okay. You Never Call Me By My Name. You don't have to call me, darling.
Oh, yeah,
darling.
Yeah. Okay.
I was drunk the day my mama got out of prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it. Steve Goodman. He was the guy that also wrote The City of New Orleans, and he wrote David Allan Coe's You Never Call Me By My Name, passed away on this date. Okay. A young fella. He was in his 30s when he passed away. Huh. He was a big Cubs fan. But if you've ever heard the song where David Allan Coe goes...
These are songs that he wrote.
Yeah, and he says, I'd like to thank my good friend Steve Goodman. And I wrote him a letter and said he did not write The Perfect Country because he had never mentioned mama, trains, or getting drunk. So Steve sat down and wrote another verse of that song, and he sent it back, and it sounded like this. That's where that line comes from, and this is the gentleman behind the song.
Okay. That's neat.
Always good to remember that. And Chad Fox said that was the snowman. We all remember Jerry Reed as the snowman.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Also, as you woke up, this was a different type of, I'm going to use a word that I don't use very often, genre. I don't know what kind it was, but I guess it was rock and roll. But this was the number one song in 1986. Happy to be stuck with you. John, I said genre.
Genre.
With a, how do you say it?
Genre.
Yeah.
It's kind of a genre.
Like Mr. John, but you put a "der" on the end of it. Genre. Maybe. Yeah. I need help sometimes with these bigger words here that I don't use every day. I can use ain't efficiently, though. Everybody knows that word. Happy. Do you remember Happy to be Huey Lewis in the News?
Yes.
So that was big back in the day.
Huey Lewis in the News, as a matter of fact, I want to say, did he perform here at the casino?
Possibly.
One time, it seems like.
It's a good chance. I've met him once or twice. Really nice fella.
Yeah.
1984, this was the day that the TV show premiered, and it was The Cosby Show. And she got in all kinds of trouble where she worked now for sticking up for him.
Yeah, I know.
She basically just said, he was very nice to me. I never had any problems, and they came after her.
I loved the show, and I loved Cosby. That was
his image was great.
Yeah, exactly. But that was heartbreaking to find out. Sometimes you find out that people aren't exactly who you think they are.
It is.
It really is a major disillusion.
Debbie helping out there, she put it out there how I could pronounce it. John and then genre. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that helps me. She used to slip me notes when we were on air. This is how you say it, and slide it over.
Give you some ebonics.
I have to have those.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse when you're live and you stumble upon a word that you go, I know this, and I just can't get it out. And that does happen occasionally there. So appreciate that. Let's see some other things that happened. 1988, this was one of my favorite guys. Yeah, look.
Yeah.
Living Proof, the album was released there. And if you've never heard that song, go back and listen to that. That was his second song that came out after Somebody Lied.
He was really popular. I'd forgotten about him.
Now, he got into a big stink in Nashville. And one of the first guys that ever stood up to somebody, he was at a music ceremony, and one of the executives said, "You're going out and sing such and such." And he said, "No, I'm not." And they said, "Oh, yes, you are." And he goes out and does it his way, and then they threw him off the festival. But he stood his ground. And then a lot of folks rallied around Ricky Van.
Yeah.
Great. One of my favorites of his was "Keep It Between the Lines." And if you've never heard that, the story is a little boy that climbs up in his dad's lap, and apparently the mother has passed away, and he's coloring, and he's teaching him to keep it between the lines there, and he goes through the thing of learning how to drive and just keep it between the lines. Heart-touching there. It really explains how life really is. And so country music is all, or it used to be, let me back up and say that, it used to be about real life experiences that taught you a lesson, made you feel good, made you cry. We now only learn about girls in tight shorts and drinking beer and rolling around on a truck bed with hip-hop music, spitting it.
Yeah. It's not what it used to be.
Yeah, that's my thoughts this morning. Did I give a good, accurate? I could really be a critic for the CMAs. They just won't let me do it.
Let me see if I can make a call.
ASCAP BMI, let me come on. So that's one of the things that's going on today. Let me see here. Let me move this over here and talk about this as we start to talk about, if you've got a car that needs fixing, let's talk about my friend Chet. Chet is the best of the best that you will find here in the Meridian area. If you've got a car that's been damaged in a wreck, a fender bender, or maybe somebody keyed it or scratched it, talk to Chet. They're going to put it back the way it was here in Center Hill. They're, like I said, they take scratches. This is one that they've taken out. They've got it ready to be painted here. They take a lot of time to make sure the work is done correctly here. This is a truck that somebody accidentally left the door open on, and you back into either a mailbox or another car, and it slams. Had a good friend of mine who accidentally dropped a bag on his ATV, and it hit the gas, and it took his door and slammed it against the side of his truck. That can happen. When it's a car, there's no telling what'll happen. But the good news is Chet is there to put it back the way it was before the accident happened. A Mustang that's been fixed. Yeah, many of these. And these are the Ford beds that have that aluminum bed that need to be done right. They can do it. And of course, a truck that's been damaged on the front, go by and see Chet. Let them show you the painting booth that they handle all this. From a classic to a brand new car, it doesn't matter. They'll process the insurance work, take care of anything that will help you out to get you going once again. It's Chet's Paint and Body, one of the best there is, right here in the Meridian area in Center Hill. 737-2961.
I'm Richard Schwartz. If you've been in an auto accident, don't hesitate to call for legal help. Remember, the first 10 days following an accident are crucial. I am Richard Schwartz, and I'm here to help you.
Call Richard Schwartz today.
Yeah, as we go back to another headline that's across America, a lot of people use a product called Chantix to stop smoking. Well, the headline, according to Daily Mail this morning, is Pfizer is recalling all stocks of its popular anti-smoking drug Chantix because it is found to contain high levels of a chemical that can cause cancer.
Oh, great God.
And there's a lot of people that have used that.
And here you're trying to quit smoking to avoid cancer, and then taking up. And there's side effects on this too. As a matter of fact, I will say my husband used Chantix to quit smoking, and he developed a rash. They said if you develop any, side effects, to quit immediately. But
and if anybody knew me years ago, I was a heavy smoker for years. I've been quit roughly 10 years now. And you were around me.
Oh, I know.
If I went outside, I had one in my hand. And it was a habit that, no matter where I drove, like when you drove to work, you pass a certain place, you would light a cigarette.
Exactly.
It wasn't that you wanted it. It was more of a habit. And they do taste great after a meal. Yeah, but I quit. I cold turkeyed it. And let me say this, of using these products, I guess some people can use that and wean themselves off of it. But there comes a point where you can't quit anything unless you are ready to do it. And this includes marriages. This includes if you're being abused. If you're a smoker, you have got to make up your mind you don't want that anymore.
Exactly.
And then go for it. And as I quit, and this is how I done it. Whenever I would want one, I would hold my breath and I would count to 10. I mean, just take a deep breath and hold it, and I would count to 10, and that urge would go away by the time I got to 10. And then as it got better, I wouldn't have to count to 10. I'd count to 8, and the urge would go away. But And then you count, and it helped.
Doing they said, look at your watch and hold it, for 20 seconds, and then the urge goes away.
But that little, because it's a spontaneous, it's just like a spike where you got to reach for it. Yeah. But you can do it, and it's all about I like to be in control of my life. I don't like anything to control me. So that's just food for thought. If I can quit smoking a pack and a half a day, you can too. And I quit long before I had my heart attack, and thank heavens I don't have any damage from all those years of smoking. It's a miracle. But I guess it was kind of like the Marlboro look, the Marlboro guy. But I did quit. If I can quit, you can quit. So hang in there, and you can take it down. But I thought y'all might want to know that if you're taking that stuff. And again, you can find that story on Daily Mail. That's out there. Just Google that and read up on it. Were you a big Rocky fan?
Yes.
Rambo fan?
Yes.
Well, they're going to be auctioning off a lot of the memorabilia that he has. He's getting rid of it. Some things will fetch up to $20,000. The gloves here that was used in Rocky,
really?
That's up for auction there. Some of these, they're autographed that he's done. You get on down, and even here in the gun, that's one of the guns that he used in there. He's auctioning that off. You name it, it's in there. Even some of the uniforms and things that he's worn. Remember the bow and arrow that he used?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, from Rambo.
I loved all those.
There it is.
Movies.
That's going to be auctioned off.
He looked good in those movies.
Listen to Jan.
I'm hoping he takes some of the proceeds from these auctions and does something with his face, because it's falling off.
He doesn't. He has not had face work.
Oh, no, you can tell that.
He didn't do Kenny Rocker.
A little bit.
Need a little adjustment there.
Oh, and Kenny overdid it.
Kenny did.
Woo.
He was just like a
crazy
clown.
Yeah.
There at the end.
Bad.
So that's
interesting.
So if you're a big fan of his, that's going to be coming up for auction before long. I think December is when the auction will happen.
They're holding the auction. It's going to be online or something?
Let's see. It's going to be December 5th at Julian's Auctions. That's in California. They've got over 500 items of his. So you can bid on it online and take part of that if you're a big fan of Sylvester Stallone.
75.
Do you have anything of a major stars that's kind of like you've gotten and you treasured, anything like that?
I've got a picture of you.
Oh, I didn't see that one coming. You got me on that one.
Nose off hair.
Steve Jobs, y'all remember him?
Right.
Multi-billionaire. I don't agree with this headline of this story that they've got out there. I don't care who you are, what you've got, how much money you've got. What is wrong with checking prices? His widow was in a store, and she's looking at prices on items on the thing, and they're giving her a hard time because they said she doesn't need to even look at prices. That is beyond. That bothers me, but somebody would even think that.
Usually, the person who looks at prices is the person who has their money because they're watching it. That's ridiculous.
But that's how the media thinks, and they twist stories.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at a price before I buy something.
Exactly.
I would have to really have to have it like a drink.
Yeah.
Give me something cold.
Yeah.
Before asking what it is. But if you buy anything, be smart about what you do. I'm not on the Dave Ramsey plan, but a lot of people do.
Well, my daddy was, not only did he ask the price, if mother went for a cup of coffee, she had a little notepad to write it down. He kept
everything.
Everything written down, so he knew what it was taking year to year for them to live.
Bill Reinhart said he had a jacket that belonged to one of Marty Stewart's, and I'm going to say that superlative. How do you say that? That's the name of his band.
Superlatives.
Yeah, I can never say that one either.
Right? They belong to
you go ahead there.
Superlatives, yeah.
But I still want, the one thing that I want really bad is an autograph of Jimmy Stewart. I would love to have that. I idolized that man. He was such one, and I never did get an autograph of that before he passed away. And I think you can bid on stuff like that in most cases online on eBay and whatnot and pick up one. So
not something I need.
We're coming up toward the top of the hour now. We want to say thank y'all for coming by and spending a few moments with us today and taking the time out of your day to say hello to us. We do appreciate that. Let me see here. There was something I wanted to also mention this very quickly before we get out. And let me go back here so we can see here. This is coming up before long, a revival at the Duffy Baptist Church on October the 9th at 10 a.m. If you can come out, it's a one-day revival. They would certainly appreciate it.
That's over in Chunky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Little Rock, the Chunky Duffy Road, Little Rock, Mississippi.
Yeah. So again, Jan, thank you for coming in. What you got? You got a lot to do today?
No, I've got a few little errands to do. Got to go to the bank.
Big things like that.
Check on all my money.
Count it. Again, we can't do this without you each and every day. We thank you for watching and posting your comments. If you've got a community event coming up, inbox me, email me, however you want to do that, Scotty Ray at AOL, or just inbox simply to Scotty Ray and Candace, any of those, and we'll be glad to share that with others. We do appreciate it. We want to say, and hope you have a great day. 75 right now as we wait for a high of 85 with a little rain later. Jan,
Looking
thank
forward
you.
to this weekend. Enjoyed being with you.
I didn't tell you. You look great today.
Oh, thank you.
Despite what Debbie said. Thank y'all so much.
Goodbye.
Scotty Ray's Weather is brought to you by